Hi, if you like the video, please remember to subscribe. Hi, I'm Rob from robnotphoto.com, and this is going to be a really quick beginner's guide about off-camera flash triggers. So, hopefully behind me you can see a flash there, a speed light or a strobe, and another one there. And then in the middle, I've got my camera with its little wireless commander on, and hopefully if we press, you might hope. It's difficult with the video because you don't always see them go off, but the flashes will have gone off because they've been triggered remotely by this little commander unit that you see here, which is using radio frequency, so it's not infrared or a cable, obviously, to trigger these two babies off here. And these are really, once you get into flash photography and you've mucked around with an external but an on-camera flash and you've bounced the light all around different places, you start to think, I want more, because it's quite addictive. And especially if you go to David Hobby's site, The Strobist, and check him out there, you'll think, right, I want to experiment with multiple camera setups. Now, you can spend an absolute fortune on speedlights and various triggers and different things they're doing. But one thing that I really like about David Hobby's site is that he recommends you use budget manual flashes. Great. Because he's a professional in a professional environment, shooting for newspapers and things like that, he does recommend you spend a considerable amount of money on your triggers, because you can get very, very cheap triggers, like these ones, and you can get very, very expensive ones, like Pocket Wizards. And the difference is reliability and range. You buy Pocket Wizards, they're going to fire sort of 100 feet away, 100 meters probably away, and they're going to work again and again and again and again. Where with your cheaper ones, they're more susceptible to interference. You don't get that many different channels, and they might not go off every time. But that's not really an issue if you're not in a professional environment. If I'm just taking some photos of me doing some practice selfies, or Oliver, or even if I got a modelling or something like that, if I've got to take the shot again, it doesn't really matter. So my kind of advice is, if you're thinking of having a go at multiple camera flash setups, cool. Don't be afraid of going for the cheap ones, but I warn you, what will happen is you will spend more money and you will get more expensive ones down the line. Now, these ones are JJCCs, and I got them in a pack where you get the master unit and then you get two slaves, I guess you would call them, that trigger the flashes. And they weren't expensive at all. I think it cost them about £25, about $40 probably. They're probably even cheaper now, and I think they moved on to different models. So don't spend a fortune. I think 2 is a really good number to start off with. And remember, you're going to be running your flashes in manual mode, so there's nothing wrong with having some more flashes set up if you've got more, and having them run in a slave mode as well. Because what happens is, when you're running things like this, you'll set up your main lights on your subject. Maybe you've got something on the background as well, and you do everything manually. And so you'll take a picture, and then you'll look at the back of the screen, and you'll see what it looks like. And if you need to increase your main light, you go to your main flash, and maybe you'll pump it up a little bit, or you increase the ISO on your camera, or maybe you need to let a little bit more ambient light in, so you open up your aperture, and you'll work on it that way. If you need a little bit more of a hair light, or need the background to be brighter or darker, or you've got a rim light coming in from the side, you'll go over and you'll adjust it manually, because all these triggers are doing are they're just firing off the flashes. Just telling them to pop, and you go over and you change them manually. Now, although there are some automatic options out there, the beauty of doing it manually is that you've got the control and you know exactly what's going on. Whereas if you've got any manual automatic things getting involved, that can start changing things that you're not aware of. And you'll be thinking, well, why am I getting that bright bit there? Why am I getting that dark bit there? So stick manual. Have a crack with cheap off-camera triggers. Remember, they've got to be using the radio. They've got to be RF, radio frequency ones. You don't want ones that work off light, because otherwise they won't work very well in lighter conditions or for longer ranges. And give them a go. I think ones like the JJC go very well with cheap flashes like the Yongno. It's kind of a very, very budget off-camera multiple flash kind of setup, and It's very easy to do. Go over to the Strobis site to pick up all the details. Dive in, you won't be sorry, and it's very easy. Right, that's it from me. My name's Rob from robnophoto.com. Remember, if you've got any questions, just put them in the comments below. If you like the videos, please subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you again soon.